Wisconsin, the giant killer, takes down another by beating Villanova. The most famous buzzer beater of last year's NCAA tournament was, of course, Chris Jenkins's in the final game, handing Villanova the championship over North Carolina. But some might remember a round of 32 game in St. Louis last year in which Wisconsin, seeded 7th, overtook second-seeded Xavier with a last-second three-pointer from the corner by guard Bronson Koenig. Wisconsin went on to lose in the round of 16, but it added that Xavier team to its collection of significant upset victims, which the Badgers' senior class, led by Koenig and Nigel Hayes, has mounted like deer heads on a wall. Among the others are Arizona in 2014, a top seed that fell to Wisconsin in the round of 8, and the top overall seed of 2015, Kentucky, which the Badgers toppled in the national semifinals. Another top overall seed nicknamed the Wildcats, like Kentucky and, for that matter, Arizona has now joined that list. On Saturday, the 8th-seeded Badgers beat the number 1 seed, Villanova, 65-62, in the second round to end the latter's hopes of repeating as the national champion. Villanova, 32-4, had retained Jenkins as well as Josh Hart, a contender for Player of the Year, from last season's championship roster and had won the Big East season and tournament. The Wildcats also had several younger players who had developed into top talents, including arguably their two best players Saturday. Yet they became the 6th team seeded at the top of a region to lose in the round of 32 since 2010. Continue reading the main story. Related coverage. March Madness, upsets highlight Day 3 of the NCAA Tournament March 18, 2017. For South Carolina, a tournament win was a long time coming. March 18, 2017. Butler 74, Middle Tennessee State 65. Butler knocks out a fashionable upset pick. March 18, 2017. SEC basketball, in football's shadow, seeks to regain its old luster. March 18, 2017. UConn women rout Albany in tournament's first round. March 18, 2017. Wisconsin, 27-9, will play in the round of 16 on Friday at Madison Square Garden against 4th-seeded Florida, which crushed 5th-seeded Virginia, 65-39, on Saturday night. While Wisconsin led at the half, 31-27, the Wildcats had forced 8 turnovers from a team that had averaged fewer than 11 per game. It was unsurprising when Villanova took the lead early in the second half and slowly built on it. Dante DiVincenzo, a redshirt freshman, finished with 15 points, 6 rebounds and 3 steals. Hart, in his final game at Villanova, led with 19 points, and Jalen Brunson, the sophomore point guard, displayed a preternatural sense of where he was, using his body and left-handedness for crafty drives and finishes, scoring 11. DiVincenzo was hitting some stuff, and we were like, what do you do with that? You can't do anything, said Wisconsin's Jordan Hill, a redshirt junior. Just after DiVincenzo hit a long two-pointer and a three-pointer on successive possessions, to give Villanova a 57-50 lead with 5 minutes 31 seconds left, Wisconsin's comeback began. From 57-50, the game really got shortened, Villanova coach Jay Wright said, referring to possessions extended by offensive rebounding and milking the shot clock, a strategy that defined Badgers basketball after Bo Ryan took over as coach in 2001, and has continued to do so in the season and a half since he retired and turned the program over to his acolyte, Greg Gard. Hayes and Koenig each scored, while Hayes and the sophomore big man Ethan Happ contributed blocks on the other end, to make it 57-54. When Hayes drove and kicked the ball out to Koenig in the right corner and Koenig nailed a three-pointer, the score was tied, 57-57, with 3:28 to go. Hart made a free throw for Villanova. Happ responded with a short field goal to make it 59-58. After another Villanova free throw tied the game, 59-59, Koenig hit a three-pointer, his third of the night, to go with the 8 he had in Thursday's win over 9th-seeded Virginia Tech to give Wisconsin a 62-59 lead. Brunson replied with a quick layup to narrow the lead to 62-61, and DiVincenzo tied the score at 62-62 with a free throw. After a timeout, Happ set a pick to free Hayes, who received the ball at the top right side of the three-point line. He drove his defender, the sophomore Michael Bridges, to the baseline, faked a spin away from the basket and then drove back along the baseline, making a reverse layup to give Wisconsin a 64-62 lead with 12 seconds left. A steal credited to the senior Vito Brown on a drive by Hart sealed it. After the game, Hayes said he had been inspired by a Michael Jordan move. "I remembered there's a Michael Jordan clip where he drives baseline and does a fake spin back and comes back. He dunked on someone," Hayes said. "I didn't dunk on someone, because I'm not Michael Jordan. But I was able to buy that fake, a little hesitation come back around." Hayes, who has scored 150 points in NCAA tournaments to be number one among active players, led Wisconsin with 19 points and 8 rebounds. His favorite current NBA player is Carmelo Anthony, he said Friday, and like Anthony, he repeatedly set up in the mid-post in isolation, often either scoring or kicking to a shooter. Happ, who played just 6 minutes in the first half because of foul trouble, finished with 12 points, 8 rebounds, 2 blocks and 2 steals. He may be inclined to use his 2 more years of eligibility. The Wall could always use extra trophies.